The Caminos del Inca is the last great city-to-city road race in the world. It makes the classic Mille Miglia look like a short sprint. This year's main overseas challenge came from North America's top rally star John Buffum.
Well, it's sort of trepidation a little bit. I mean, it's a long time. When they have the third stage of the rally is 350 miles long. We have 2 service stops, hopefully for gas and 1 set of tires. But, I mean, I've never driven competitively that long. I mean, we just have to wait and see.
This is my 3rd time I'm racing in Caminos del Inca. It's a really tough race. It's 3,000 kilometers. We have a really good competitive now and a lot of cars that can win. My 2 first times I finished 2nd overall and 1st in my class, so going to try my best. And, you know, this is a new car, and so we have to take it easy and try to be in there in the front row.
It's a tough rally. I don't like it myself. It's a rally where you don't drive. I like driving. I like going fast. And on this rally, you have to save the car, and it's more like a marathon rally.
The route starts in Lima, the capital of Peru, then charges off in a great 1,700-mile loop high up in the Andes, visiting 4 other cities before returning to Lima. Local man Neto, in his British-built Escort, followed Buffum's Audi on the fast squirt along the seafront in Lima. The fastest along this section was Cesar Vera in his BMW M3, setting a new record for the short Super Prime. No sooner had the event started than there was the shock retirement of Raymond Ferreras with engine problems. The second of the 6 days of competitive driving on this amazing event went from sea level to 15,000 feet. But it was the BMW of Vera which clocked fastest into his hometown of Huancayo, where he promptly retired to celebrate being the fastest driver in town. John Buffum's Audi pulls off for a quick refuel, letting Neto Djokamovic's Cosworth ahead. Any time taken in service or refueling is time lost on the Caminos del Inca.
The French have a great word for it, incroyable. I mean, the first 2/3 is just up for 15,000 feet. It's beautiful, the pavement's great, you know, and then the last part is just boom, motorway to the finish. Fantastic.
And so were the crowds on this hugely popular spectator event.
Everything was okay, a little bit high temperature. I was going easy at the beginning because we want to arrive here. And just take it easy, and we come 6,000 RPMs all the way.
The next day, the crowds were out in force again as the cars attacked the first gravel section, over 200 miles of twisty road. Local boy Neto, an ex-Formula 3 racer, prefers the tarmac to gravel, making the vastly experienced Buffum favourite to win this leg. There are vast desert-like stretches where, if anything happens, you're on your own. But there are also more twists, turns and big dips on this section than any other, as Ricardo Dasso found out. This being a very small ravine by Peruvian standards, both car and crew escaped unscathed. As the cars came into Ayacucho, the Audi was fastest after 3.5 hours of flat-out driving.
We thought this stage was good. It was some of the big bumps they had smoothed out. And it was twisty. It's a very nice road.
If you think the drivers work hard on the Caminos del Inca, pity the poor service crews. Racing can only take place every other day to give the mechanics time to get ahead on these atrocious roads. And just working at these altitudes is difficult enough in itself. This is the start of the Ayacucho to Cusco section, one of the most demanding days of the lot. Now, in the Mobil 1 Top Gear British Rally Championship, the average length of a special stage is 8 minutes. This single stage, which goes up and down the mountains, takes 8 hours. Need I say more? Tony Fall of England's record time over this section in 1969 was beaten only this year by Buffum's 7 hours 39 minutes. Neto was still going well despite power steering problems which had literally worn his fingers to the bone. The racing driver was right on the edge to keep up with Buffum. Hemmedy's VW Gol had lost its class lead after engine trouble but was fighting back. There's a wide range of cars entered on this event, the 90 entries being divided into numerous classes. There are rules and regulations to govern cars, but they're nowhere near as strict as those in Europe. And pickup trucks and the like are allowed to join in the fray. some of them looking decidedly weary by the 5th day. Bufham's flat-out blind continued. It was a 2-horse race. He and Neto separated amazingly by just 15 seconds at the end of this 8-hour stage. After another rest day, the crowds came out in Cusco to see the most powerful general in Peru send the cars on their way. This was the day that turned to disaster for Neto Djokovic in his Escort Cosworth. Having already changed one wheel after a puncture, this wheel broke loose from the studs and went off down a ravine. It took hours to retrieve, and then the wheel nuts wouldn't go back on properly. This was the end of a stirring drive on a truly amazing event. Buffam was now well in the lead. Local man 1990 winner Alazer in second spot in his aging Nissan Silvia, Tito de la Flor's Corolla third. The southernmost part of the route was the city of Arequipa, where the Latin temperament was seen at its best.
Today we went out fast again, and it was very important for us to get to the gravel first. We had 1 minute.
Siquani.
Yeah, and to Sequani. So we went very hard to Sequani, and we got to the gravel first, and then we knew it would be hard for him to pass.
And so the 6th and final competitive day, a 650-mile blast up part of the main Pan American Highway. Specially closed, of course. All John Buffam and co-driver Mark Williams had to do was get back to Lima. How hard have you found this Caminos del Inca?
It's very difficult. I think even the World Championship guys would, after a couple of days out in the outback, so to speak, on the bumpy roads, they'd say, this is an event to be reckoned with.